What's going on, hip hop? It's your man Mike Teague, aka Finesse, socially conscious entrepreneur, servant of humanity, lover of the hip hop nation. No, hip hop, there are people who have said that their story, as they have experienced it and as they tell it, is therapeutic. I've never subscribed to that, ever. I've dealt with the issues that I have faced in my life. I have processed those issues spiritually, psycho-emotionally. I prayed, and I've moved forward. At the same time, as I put myself out there in order to help other people, I've decided that I'm going to begin to tell my story. And I hope that my story helps you, because that's the only rationale for me sharing it. The topic of this podcast episode and content for the Hip Hop Nation is performing in the midst of the pain. Hip hop, I'm a single parent. Every other week for about 12 years I had my son until September of last year, when my ex-wife kept my son from me for approximately 7 months over an argument that he and I had. And when she began keeping him from me, she said that essentially he does not want to come back with you until you get therapy. Now, my son was 12, and legally a 12-year-old cannot decide where he or she will live in the state of New Jersey. So I was hurt, angry, devastated for a hot minute, and I thought about walking away. Didn't do it. And as a result, I decided that I would do 3 things. Pray, pay, and parent. And I did all of those things. Over the course of 3 months, I won back my son's love. We rebonded. We reconnected, and now he's back with me. I shared that story, hip-hop, to let you know that in the midst of it, I still had to perform. I work in healthcare sales. Just received a major promotion. I'll talk about that in another episode. I still had to perform. I still had to make sales goals. I still had to build my businesses. I still had to be a parent. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I still had to be there for other people in the midst of the pain. So, hip-hop, I want to encourage you. In the next episode, I will detail the steps of how we perform in the midst of the pain. I want to say this to you today. In the midst of your pain, this life requires that you and I still have to perform. Stay tuned for part 2 tomorrow. It's your man Finesse. I'm delivering this content to the Hip Hop Nation.